This is not a metaphor. Your future self just confirmed the shift. Your alignment begins now. This is not a promise of a future event. It is a statement of energetic fact. The breakthrough you have been praying for, fighting for, waiting for, is not coming. It has arrived. The signal has been sent. This video, this very moment of you watching and listening, is the delivery system. This is grounded in the physics of retrocausality, the proven and deeply unsettling principle that the future can influence the past. Your future timeline, the one where you are fully actualized, whole, and living in your highest expression, is not silent. It is sending back an echo, a confirmation, a flare of light sent backward through time to find you right here, right now, and to pull you forward. In the next hour, you will do more than just learn about this shift. You will receive the direct energetic transmission from your future self. You will understand the undeniable signs you have been experiencing and likely misinterpreting. And you will be given the exact protocol to align with this new reality, starting the moment this transmission ends. We are going to collapse the distance between the person you are and the person you have already become. The science of non-linear time, what physicists call the Block universe, suggests that all moments, past, present, and future, exist simultaneously. They are all happening right now. Your ascended future self isn't in a distant when. It's in a different here. It's a parallel frequency, a completed version of your energy field that is just as real as the body you are sitting in. The reason you have felt so much tension, so much friction, is because you have been living on the seam between these two realities. This has been the source of your exhaustion. Let's be honest about what that has felt like. It has been a spiritual marathon that seemed to have no finish line. It has been the endless waiting, the synchronicities that lead nowhere, the angel numbers that flash on the clock, promising a miracle that never seems to land in your bank account or your relationships. It's the feeling of being perpetually on the 1-yard line, pushing with all your might, but the goalposts keep moving. You've done the work. You've cleared the trauma. You've raised your vibration. You've written the affirmations. You've built the vision boards until your walls were covered in pictures of a life you could taste but never touch. And still, you wake up in the same reality, with the same lingering anxieties, feeling a profound dissonance between the magnificent future you feel in your soul and the frustrating reality you see in the mirror. This was not your failure. That exhaustion was not a sign that you were doing it wrong. That spiritual fatigue was the necessary precondition for this message to arrive. It was the tension building in the string of a cosmic bow just before the arrow is released. It was the pressure building deep within the earth before a new island is born. Every moment of doubt, every tear shed in the dark night of the soul where you begged the universe for a sign, any sign, was not a setback. It was you, tuning your own energetic dial, clearing the static so this one, final, definitive signal could break through. If you feel in your bones that this message was meant for you, that you are guided to this moment, hit the like button now. Acknowledge the synchronicity and signal to the universe you are ready to receive. This entire process can be understood through a simple metaphor: the quantum voicemail. Imagine that in the exact moment your future self achieved everything you dream of, the peace, the abundance, the love, the wholeness. They did something remarkable. They stopped, turned their awareness back through time to you, and recorded a message not of hope, but of confirmation, a message that simply says, "It's done. We made it. Everything you went through was worth it. Now stop fighting, just align." That message was sent instantly, non-locally, but it has been traveling through the dense interference patterns of your old timeline. It has been pushing through the static of collective doubt, through the noise of your own fears, through the ingrained beliefs that told you it had to be hard. For years, you may have only heard snippets of it, a moment of profound intuition, a dream that felt more real than waking life, a sudden wave of inexplicable peace. You were hearing fragments of the message, distorted by the noise, but your journey of healing and seeking was never about convincing the universe to send the message. It was about cleaning your receiver. It was about you becoming the precise energetic coordinate in space-time where the signal could finally be received in its entirety, with perfect clarity. That coordinate is here. The time is now. This video, this frequency we are co-creating, is the playback device. Right now, the static is clearing. You can feel a shift in the room, a change in the pressure of the air. That is the sound of the connection being made, a final definitive click. And in the silence, you can begin to hear a voice that is familiar yet impossibly powerful. It is your own voice, but it is resonant with a certainty you have always longed for. The voicemail is finally being played. By the end of this transmission, the question that has haunted your spiritual journey, the question, "When will my shift happen?" will be obsolete. It will feel like a question from a different person, from a different lifetime. You will no longer be scanning the horizon for a sign. You will be the sign. You will not be trying to manifest a new reality. You will be managing the reality that has already arrived. You will be operating from the undeniable certainty that it is done. The search is over. The alignment has begun. To fully grasp the mechanics of this shift, you must first upgrade your understanding of reality itself. You have been operating under an old map, a linear map, one that says time moves in a straight line, from a fixed past to an unknown future. This map is not wrong, it's just incomplete. It's a map of a single road when you exist in a landscape of infinite, branching pathways. Imagine your life not as a line, but as a river. At every significant choice point, every moment of decision, the river forks. A new tributary branches off, creating a parallel stream of reality. You, in your present awareness, flow down one of these streams, but the other streams don't simply vanish. They continue to flow. Each one is a distinct, valid, real timeline. This is not science fiction. It is the fundamental implication of the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, a theory posited by physicist Hugh Everett. He proposed that the universal wave function is an objective reality, and that all possible outcomes of a quantum measurement are physically realized in some world or universe. Think of it. Every time you chose left instead of right, took the job or didn't, spoke up or stayed silent, a version of you continued down the other path. There are timelines where you are living out the consequences of your greatest fears, and there are timelines where you are living in the full embodiment of your highest potential, billions upon billions of streams, all flowing simultaneously, all extensions of your consciousness. This is not meant to overwhelm you, it is meant to empower you, because your future self, the one who sent that message, is not a hypothetical fantasy. It is a physical, embodied reality. It is you, on a timeline that has already achieved the coherence, the peace, the success you are currently seeking. That version of you is not in a distant future. It's in a parallel present, a different frequency, a different stream in the cosmic river. You didn't leave that potential behind. You simply took a different path for a while, but the paths can merge. The shift you are feeling, the reason for the exhaustion and the strange synchronicities, is because your timeline is now undergoing a convergence. Your stream is bending, preparing to merge with that higher frequency tributary. You are not chasing a future. You are preparing for a confluence of timelines that was destined to happen. Your soul chose this convergence point before you ever incarnated. You have been navigating toward it your entire life, even when it felt like you were lost. All the detours, all the rapids, all the moments of being stuck in the reeds, they were all course corrections, perfectly guiding you to this precise moment of merging. So many of you are asking how to connect with future self. The answer isn't a technique, it's an architecture. It's a structure that has always existed in potential, waiting for your energy to become stable enough to activate it. We call this structure the future self-alignment bridge. This is not merely a pretty metaphor. It is a tangible, energetic structure, a wormhole connecting your present neurological and energetic state to the fully actualized state of your future self. It operates on three fundamental principles of quantum reality. Firstly, coherence. The bridge is made of coherent light, of focused consciousness. It's not a flimsy rope bridge swaying in the winds of doubt. It's a stable, crystalline structure built from your moments of clarity, your acts of faith, your unwavering inner knowing. Every time you choose love over fear, you add another beam to this bridge. Second, resonance. A bridge is useless if you don't walk across it. Resonance is the act of tuning your energy to the frequency of the bridge itself. Your future self is constantly broadcasting a signal, an emotional tone. It's the frequency of peace, of wholeness, of gratitude. When you consciously generate these feelings in your present moment, you begin to vibrate in harmony with the bridge. You make it solid, you make it crossable. And third, non-local communication. This is the magic. Information across this bridge does not travel. It simply is, simultaneously at both ends. Your future self isn't yelling across a canyon. The moment you step onto the bridge through resonance, you have instant access to their wisdom, their perspective, their memories. This is non-locality. It is the fabric of the universe. It is how entangled particles communicate instantly across billions of light years. It is how you are about to communicate with your own completed self. This bridge is your birthright. The energetic static of your old timeline is all that has kept you from seeing it. What is the single most persistent story from your old timeline that you can feel dissolving as you listen to these words? Acknowledge it, without judgment. Let it go. Because that story is the very reason why all your past efforts felt so incomplete. It's the reason you're here, listening now, after years of trying everything. You've been diligent, you've done the work. The vision boards, the affirmations, the scripting, the acting as if. You have poured so much energy into these methods, often with fleeting results, followed by the familiar crash of disappointment. Let me be clear, those methods were not wrong. They were simply incomplete tools for the task at hand. This is not a judgment, it is a diagnosis. Let's use our central metaphor. Your future self is broadcasting on a crystal clear, high-frequency 100.7 FM signal. The message is one of completion, wholeness, and unconditional love. But you have been trying to receive this signal on an old, crackling AM radio. Your affirmations, I am abundant, I am healed. Were you screaming the name of the FM station into the AM radio's microphone, hoping it would magically change its frequency? You were shouting a new belief, but the underlying hardware of your nervous system was still wired for the old broadcast of scarcity and struggle. The receiver itself was out of tune. Your vision boards were you taping a beautiful picture of the FM radio over the rusted-out speaker of your AM radio. It looked right. It felt inspiring for a moment. But when you turned it on, the same static, the same old programming, came through. You were changing the external image without upgrading the internal circuitry that receives reality. The eye sees one thing, but the body, the nervous system, feels the old frequency and broadcasts that reality back to you. The practice of acting as if was the most advanced of these, but it was also the most exhausting. It was like manually turning the dial on that AM radio, micromillimeter by micromillimeter, trying to find a clear signal that the hardware was simply not designed to receive. You could hold it there for a few minutes, maybe even a few hours, through sheer force of will. But the moment your focus lapsed, the dial would slip back to its default setting, back to the noisy static of the old timeline. It was a constant battle against your own energetic set point. It was unsustainable. Do you feel the truth in this? The problem was never your effort, it was never your desire, it was never your worthiness. The problem was you were trying to change the station when you needed to upgrade the receiver. The shift, this great awakening, is not about finding a new technique to force the dial into place. It's the delivery of a brand new receiver. The message from your future self, this very transmission you are receiving now, is the final component that allows the upgrade to complete. It rewires your energetic system, your very neurology, to be able to lock onto the high-frequency broadcast of your ascended timeline, effortlessly, permanently. This brings us to the new paradigm, the great and beautiful revelation that will release you from the struggle forever. It is not about attracting your future. It's about remembering it. Take a deep breath and let that sink into your bones. The entire paradigm of spiritual manifestation has been built on the idea of lack. The idea that what you want is out there, separate from you, and you must perform the correct rituals and generate enough energy to pull it toward you, to attract it into your reality. This framework, by its very nature, reinforces the separation between you and your desire. It is a paradigm of effort, of chasing, of trying. We are leaving that paradigm behind, right now. Alignment is an act of memory, not an act of creation. Your future self has already created the reality you desire. It is done. It is complete. It is a finished masterpiece. Your work is not to repaint the masterpiece from scratch. Your work is to remember it, to feel the memory of that accomplished reality so deeply, so profoundly, that your present moment has no choice but to reorganize itself around that memory. You are not creating. You are aligning with what is already complete. You are not attracting. You are remembering. You are not hoping. You are accepting. This is the great relief, the cosmic exhale, the burden of having to figure it all out, of having to make it all happen, of carrying the weight of creation on your shoulders. It's over. You can lay it down. Your only task now is to become an impeccable receiver for the memories of a future that has already happened, to tune yourself to the frequency of that victory. This is not passive. It is the most powerful state of being you can inhabit. It is the point from which you finally, truly, begin to create. So you have been listening on this old frequency, the AM radio of your past timeline, waiting for a signal of hope. You have been trying to build a better receiver, taping together affirmations, wiring in vision boards, all in a desperate attempt to hear the music of your new reality. But what if the entire premise was flawed? What if you were never meant to be a receiver? What if the signal was you? This is the moment everything changes. I need you to take a deep breath, because the thought I am about to share is the key that unlocks the final door. It is the great revelation that collapses the space between where you are and where you are destined to be. The shift is not an external event. It is not a solar flare, a planetary alignment, or a grand collective awakening that you are waiting for. The shift is an internal event. It is the precise moment your present moment awareness becomes coherent, becomes one, with the awareness of your future self. The arrival of this message, this quantum voicemail, is not just a confirmation that the shift is coming. Its frequency, its very resonance, is the final energetic component required to complete the circuit. It is the last harmonic needed to make the bridge you've been looking for suddenly, completely and undeniably material. But here is the core of the paradigm shift. You are not waiting for a bridge to appear. You are not building a bridge. You are the bridge. Your consciousness right now, in this very moment, is the material. Your awareness is the sacred architecture spanning the perceived gap between your present timeline and your ascended one. The waiting was you holding your breath, believing you were made of stone, when in fact you are made of light. The struggle was you trying to build something that you already are. What if the only thing required to complete the shift was your radical acceptance that it has already happened? Take a breath and feel the truth of that. Feel the tectonic plates of your old reality groan under the weight of this new truth. You are not a traveler hoping to cross a bridge to a better future. You are the destination and the journey itself, embodied. And this is the secret behind how to align with your higher self. It's not about reaching up. It's about realizing you are the connection itself. This single realization changes everything about how you live, how you choose, and how you create from this second forward. This means your future self is not a separate, distant being to pray to or petition. It is not an ascended master on a pedestal you hope to one day please. Your future self is an active, present intelligence to collaborate with. It is the CEO of your ascended timeline, and you are the operative on the ground in this present moment. The communication is not one way. It is a constant, dynamic dialogue. You are sending data about the present through your feelings and choices, and your future self is sending back guidance in the form of intuition, synchronicity, and resonant feelings. You are partners in the grandest project imaginable, the embodiment of a perfected timeline. This also means every challenge you faced was not a punishment. It was not a sign you were off your path. It was a resonance check. Every heartbreak, every financial struggle, every dark night of the soul was a calibration tool. Your energetic system was being tested, strengthened and prepared to handle the sheer voltage of your future reality. Could you hold love in the face of fear? Could you trust in abundance when faced with lack? Could you maintain your inner light when surrounded by darkness? These weren't tests to pass or fail. They were energetic workouts, building the spiritual muscle required to become the bridge, to hold the frequency of your highest self without short-circuiting. The pain was preparation. The struggle was the tempering of the steel. And most profoundly, this means you can stop trying to get there. Let those words land. You can lay down the exhausting burden of becoming, the endless self-improvement projects, the constant striving to be more spiritual and more healed, more worthy. That is the operating system of the old timeline. From this moment, you start operating from there. You make choices not to get to your future, but from the perspective of the future that is already accomplished. You are no longer trying to climb the mountain. You are the mountain, remembering its own majesty. This precipitates the most critical shift of all, a shift in your fundamental identity. For years, perhaps decades, you have held the identity of the waiter, the spiritual seeker, the one on the verge. Feel into the energy of that identity for a moment. Feel it in your body. It is a state of subtle tension. The shoulders are slightly raised, the breath is shallow, the eyes are always scanning the horizon for a sign. It is an identity of perpetual incompleteness, of not yet. It is honorable, it is sincere, but it is deeply, profoundly exhausting. It has served its purpose, and its purpose is now complete. Today, you shed that identity like an old skin. You are no longer the waiter, you are the conduit. You are the bridge. Feel the shift in your body right now. As a conduit, your shoulders drop. Your breath deepens, flowing all the way down into your belly. Your energy field, once sent outward in search of answers, now grounds down into the earth and opens up to the cosmos. A conduit does not strain. A conduit does not strive. A conduit simply allows the current to flow through it. It is an identity of profound presence, of being a channel for a power far greater than your personal self. You are the living, breathing connection between what was and what is now becoming. You are a temporal bridge, and your very presence stabilizes the new reality. This leads to the final, beautiful act, the releasing of the struggle. The greatest act of alignment you can perform is to gently lay down the tools of force and effort, the pushing, the controlling, the figuring it all out. This is not about giving up. It is the furthest thing from it. Giving up is an act of despair. This is an act of supreme trust. It is the ultimate surrender. It is the warrior arriving at the castle gates, not to find them locked, but to find them wide open, with a feast prepared in their honor. The battle was never real. The only conflict was the belief that a battle needed to be fought. By accepting that you are the bridge, that the connection is made, that the victory is already secured on your future timeline, you stop feeding the old reality of struggle with your attention and your energy. You unplug from the matrix of effort. You accept the grace that has been waiting for you all along. You accept the win. It's already done. The work is finished, and the being has just begun. This revelation is not a theory. It is a diagnosis of a reality you are already living. Your future self has been leaving you evidence, proof of this shift. For months, perhaps years, you have simply been misinterpreting the data. You've been searching for the signs of a quantum shift. Here they are. But they are not what you think. They are not angelic signs, repeating numbers, or feathers on the sidewalk, though those can be part of it. The true signs are deep, seismic, structural changes in your reality that you have likely labeled as problems, setbacks, or even personal failures. I call them quantum echoes. They are the sound of your future destination bleeding backward into your present moment. It is time to decode them. It is time to see the proof that has been all around you, hiding in plain sight. The first, and perhaps most confusing, quantum echo is what I call the Great Detachment. This is the sudden, inexplicable loss of interest in goals, dreams, and desires that you once chased with every fiber of your being. The promotion you worked 10 years for now feels like a hollow prize. The business you bled to build now feels like a beautiful cage. The relationship dynamic you fought to maintain now feels draining and foreign. From the outside, it can look like depression, apathy, or a midlife crisis. You may have even judged yourself for it, questioning your own drive, your own sanity. You thought you were losing your ambition. You were not. You were outgrowing a timeline. Each of those goals existed as a powerful focal point on your old energetic path. They were the mountains you had to climb to learn the lessons of that reality. But your future self does not exist on that timeline. Your future self has already integrated those lessons. They are living a reality born from a completely different set of desires, a higher frequency of purpose. As you begin to build the alignment bridge, the powerful resonant field of that future reality starts to echo backward into your present. This echo begins to neutralize the energetic charge of your old goals. It's like trying to listen to an old AM radio station while a powerful FM signal is bleeding through. The old music becomes distorted, weak and ultimately uninteresting. This is not apathy, it is energetic recalibration. The detachment is a sign that your energy field is unattaching its tendrils from a reality that is no longer your destination. Consider a woman who spent 15 years in corporate law, her entire identity wrapped up in making partner. It was her singular obsession. She sacrificed weekends, relationships, her health, all for that corner office, that title. It was the summit of her world. Then, one Tuesday afternoon, sitting in a meeting she would have once killed to be in, she felt nothing. A profound, hollow emptiness. The ambition had vanished. The fire was gone. It terrified her. She thought she was breaking down, that she had lost her edge. But what was really happening? Her future self, a woman who runs a small, thriving pottery studio by the ocean, who measures her wealth in sunsets and creative joy, was sending a powerful quantum echo back in time. The echo of deep, soul-level fulfillment was so strong that it completely cancelled out the frequency of corporate striving. Her detachment wasn't a failure, it was a homing signal. It was a divine course correction. She eventually left the firm, and in the terrifying, empty space that followed, she took a pottery class on a whim. And when her hands touched the clay, she felt a jolt of recognition. She felt the echo of home. This is the great detachment. It is the sacred space-making required for the new reality to land. It feels like loss, but it is actually an act of liberation. Comment with the one quantum echo that has been showing up in your life, the detachment, the future nostalgia, or the system reset. Let's create a powerful collective testimony of this shift. I want to witness your confirmation. The second quantum echo is even more subtle, more poetic. It is nostalgia for the future. This is a profound, often overwhelming feeling of homesickness for a place you've never been, a person you've never met, or a feeling you've never consciously experienced in this life. It might be triggered by a piece of music that brings tears to your eyes for a life you feel you've forgotten. It might be a certain quality of afternoon light that makes your soul ache for a quiet home in the mountains, even if you've always been a city person. It is a deep, resonant memory of a future that has already happened. This is not mere daydreaming or fantasy. This is your present-day nervous system picking up the fully formed memories of your future self. Remember, in the block universe model of time, all moments exist simultaneously. Your future self is not just a potential, it is an existing being on a parallel track of reality, living a full life, forming deep memories of joy, peace, and accomplishment. As the alignment bridge between you becomes stronger, these memories begin to bleed through. They are not thoughts, they are somatic experiences. You feel the memory of that future peace in your bones. You feel the memory of that future love in your heart. It feels like nostalgia because, from your future self's perspective, it is a memory. You are literally remembering your future. Think of a young man, an architect, living in a bustling, concrete metropolis. He is successful, social, and by all accounts, living the life he planned. But lately, he's been ambushed by strange waves of emotion. He smells freshly cut wood and is overcome with a feeling of deep, quiet pride. He sees a photograph of a rugged coastline and feels a pang of homesickness so intense it almost brings him to his knees. He doesn't understand it. He's never been a craftsman. He's never lived by the sea. He dismisses it as escapism. But what's happening is a direct transmission. His future self, a master boat builder living in a small coastal town, revered for his artistry and connection to the ocean, is living a life of such profound coherence that its memories are echoing back through the alignment bridge. The architect isn't fantasizing about a different life. He is receiving the memory imprint of his real life, the one that is waiting for his alignment. That nostalgia is the emotional blueprint. It is the GPS coordinate for his new timeline. If you have felt this strange, a beautiful ache for a home you've never known, you are not going crazy. You are simply remembering what's to come. You are feeling the emotional signature of your destination. The third quantum echo is the most jarring, the most disruptive, and the most powerful proof that your shift is not just happening, but is in its final, critical phase. It is the system reset. This is a period of intense external chaos where the core structures of your old life suddenly and often illogically fall apart. The stable job is eliminated. The long-term relationship abruptly ends. The home you thought you'd live in for years is suddenly sold. It appears as a catastrophic failure, a cosmic betrayal. It feels as if the universe has turned against you, pulling the rug out from under you in every conceivable way. This is not punishment. This is not bad luck. It is a controlled demolition. The reality you have been living in is a complex, energetic matrix, a scaffold of beliefs, relationships, locations, and identities. This matrix was perfectly designed to support your old timeline self, but it is fundamentally incompatible with the frequency of your future self. The new, higher frequency reality cannot be built on the old foundation. The old foundation must be cleared. The system reset is the energetic equivalent of a demolition crew arriving on site. The powerful magnetic pull of your aligned future self makes anything not in vibrational harmony with it intensely unstable. Those structures must crumble. They cannot exist in the new resonance you are beginning to hold. It looks like chaos, but it is a profoundly intelligent process. The universe is not destroying your life. It is forcibly clearing the construction site for your new one. Imagine a woman who had a safe government job and a comfortable but uninspired marriage. She had dreams of being a healer, a spiritual guide, but she kept them locked away as a weekend hobby. Within a single 6-month period, a departmental restructuring eliminates her job of 12 years, and her husband announces he wants a divorce. Her world is shattered. She is adrift, terrified, convinced she is a victim of cruel fate. From the perspective of the old timeline, she is, but from the perspective of her future self, a renowned and joyful spiritual teacher who guides thousands, this demolition was the non-negotiable first step. That job was an anchor to a reality of limitation. That relationship was a mirror for a version of herself she needed to outgrow. The system reset, as painful as it was the most profound act of grace. It was the only thing that could blast her out of the concrete of her old reality and free her to build the new one. The collapse wasn't the end of her life. It was the beginning of her mission. Do you see the pattern now? These are not random, unfortunate events. This is a coordinated, intelligent sequence, orchestrated by the physics of your own consciousness across time. The Great Detachment creates the necessary void. It makes you let go of the old toys. The nostalgia for the future provides the new blueprint. It fills that void with the emotional signature of your true home. And the system reset clears the contaminated ground, demolishing the old structures so the new blueprint can be built on a clean, coherent foundation. Look back at your own life, at the confusion, the loss, the strange longings. See them now not as a history of your failures, but as the unmistakable evidence of your becoming. This has been happening for you. Your future self has been guiding you, preparing you, clearing the path. The evidence is all there. The shift is not a distant hope. You have been living inside the evidence of its arrival all along. You just needed the key to decode it. Now you have it, you understand it. You have seen the evidence in the quantum echoes of your own life. Now it is time to feel it. To walk the bridge you now know that you are. The intellectual journey is complete. The emotional embodiment begins now. So I invite you in this sacred moment to find a space where you can be undisturbed for the next several minutes. Sit comfortably or lie down. Allow your body to be supported. Let go of the need to hold yourself up. And when you are ready, gently close your eyes. Let's begin by arriving fully in this moment. Not the moment that just passed, not the one that is coming, but this one. This singular, perfect point in space-time where the signal has finally been received. Take a deep, conscious breath in, filling your lungs completely, feeling the air as a form of liquid light, nourishing every cell. And as you exhale, release everything that does not belong in this sacred space. Release the doubt, release the fatigue, release the story of the long, hard wait. Let it all dissolve with the out-breath. Again, a deep breath in, drawing in the frequency of this transmission, the knowing that you are on the cusp of a great remembering, and a long, slow exhale, letting your shoulders drop, your jaw soften, the tension in your forehead melting away. Feel the weight of your body. Notice the points of contact between you and the surface that supports you, the chair, the bed, the floor. Feel the unwavering pull of gravity, a constant, reassuring anchor to the present. This body has been your vessel through every timeline. every challenge, every victory. Bring your awareness to your feet. Thank them for the ground they have walked. Bring your awareness to your legs, the pillars of strength that have carried you this far. Move your awareness up through your torso, the core of your being, and into your arms and hands, the instruments through which you will build this new reality. Finally, bring your awareness to your heart space. Right here in the center of your chest is the origin point of the bridge. Before we build it, let's acknowledge with profound gratitude the self that has brought you to this exact coordinate, the self that navigated the confusion, the self that endured the dark nights of the soul, the self that never, ever truly gave up hope, even when it felt like it was gone. This self is not something to be discarded. It is the foundation upon which your future is built. Honor its resilience, honor its courage. Feel a wave of deep, unconditional love for this aspect of you that has so bravely held the space for this shift to occur. You did it. You are here. And now, from this place of grounded presence and self-love, let's turn our attention forward. I want you to shift your awareness from the internal to the horizon of your own consciousness. Out in the vast, quiet space of your inner world, I want you to sense a presence. This is not about picturing a face. It is not about visualizing a person in robes or a being of light. Release the need to see anything with your mind's eye. This is a journey of feeling. I want you to sense an energetic signature. It is your own, amplified, coherent, whole. It might feel like a warmth on the edge of your perception, a gentle, magnetic pull. It might feel like a distant, beautiful music whose melody you have always known but couldn't quite remember. It is the feeling of ultimate peace, of absolute certainty, of unconditional success. It is the feeling of home. This is the energy of your future self, existing not in a distant time, but in a different vibrational space, a different here. It is the version of you that has already navigated every challenge, integrated every lesson, and is now living in the fulfilled reality you have been dreaming of. It is not separate from you. It is the destination you are already arriving at. Feel its presence. Feel its profound, unwavering love for you. Feel its patience. It has been waiting for this connection, for this exact moment of alignment. There is no judgment coming from this presence. Only pride, only compassion, only a powerful silent declaration. You made it. We are here. Allow yourself to bathe in this feeling. This is your true north. This is your resonant frequency. And now, bring your awareness back to your heart center. You feel your own presence here and now. You feel the presence of your future self on the horizon of your awareness. Between these 2 points, there exists a space, a quantum potential. We are about to make that potential real. From the center of your heart, I want you to feel an energy begin to gather, a point of brilliant, coherent light. With your intention, allow this light to extend outward from your chest, moving across the space between you and your future self. This is not an effort, it is an allowance. You are not forcing anything. You are simply remembering how it is built. See and feel this beam of light from your heart extending, stretching, solidifying into a magnificent bridge. A bridge made of your own consciousness. It shimmers with all of your potential, all of your wisdom, all of your power. It is stable. It is secure. It is the most real thing in your universe. This is the future self-alignment bridge, and you are standing at its entrance. Before you is the path to your wholeness, the path to your highest timeline. Take a symbolic first step onto the bridge. As your foot connects with its luminous surface, feel a subtle shift in your entire being, a feeling of lightness, of relief. You have just stepped out of the dense frequency of the old timeline and onto the high-frequency pathway of your ascended reality. The air here is different. It is charged with possibility. Now, take another step. With this step, you feel a wave of clarity wash over you. The mental fog you've been living in begins to part. The endless loops of worry and analysis begin to quiet. Another step. With this one, a deep-seated feeling of unworthiness dissolves into the light. It was never yours to begin with. It was just a program from the old timeline. Feel it detaching from your cells effortlessly. You are walking toward your future self, and with each step, your future self is walking toward you. The distance is collapsing. Walk forward now at your own pace. With every step, an old limitation crumbles. With every step, a forgotten strength returns. With every step, you become more you, more of the real you. You are shedding the weight of the past. You are letting go of the anxiety for the future. You are walking in the empowered, eternal now, on the bridge of your own making. You are halfway across now. The presence of your future self is growing stronger, more palpable. The warmth is becoming an embrace. The magnetic pull is becoming an undeniable call home. You can feel its radiance on your skin. You can feel its peace calming your nervous system in a way it has never been calmed before. Keep walking. You are so close now. One final step. You are now in the center of the bridge, standing face to face with the energy of your highest self. And here, in this sacred center, the two become one. Feel the two presences meeting. It is not a collision, it is a merging, a seamless integration of your present awareness with your future, fulfilled awareness. Feel what it feels like as this higher frequency version of you flows into your present self. It is the feeling of a long-lost part of your soul clicking back into place, a resonance that harmonizes every cell in your body. You are not meeting someone new. You are remembering all of you. In this moment of merging, there is a transmission, an activation. It is not in words. It is not in images. It is a direct, energetic download of a single, core feeling. Receive it now. Perhaps it is the feeling of absolute peace, or unshakable sovereignty, or profound creative joy, or deep, abiding safety. Whatever it is the precise, energetic medicine your soul requires at this moment. Let it pour into you. Let this feeling saturate every atom, every cell, every strand of your DNA. This feeling is recalibrating your entire being to the frequency of your new timeline. This is the confirmation. This cellular, embodied knowing. This is the activation of the shift. It is done. It is done. Stay in this merged state for another moment, breathing it in, becoming it. This is your new home, your new set point. This is who you are now. And very gently, when you are ready, begin to bring your awareness back. Feel the magnificent bridge of light slowly retracting back into your heart center, not disappearing, but integrating. It is now a permanent structure within you, accessible at any moment. Feel your consciousness fully returning to your physical body. Notice the weight of your body again, the sounds in the room. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing gentle movement back. Keep your eyes closed for just another moment longer. Place one or both hands over your heart. Anchor this feeling you received in your physical body. Press it into your cellular memory. This feeling is no longer something you chase. It is something you are. It is the frequency from which you now operate. As you return, what is the core feeling, the energetic signature your future self gifted you? Let that one word be your compass from this moment forward. When you are ready, and only when you are ready, you may slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. The meditation is complete, but the integration is just beginning. You are now a walking, talking bridge to your highest timeline. The energetic download you received is not a temporary state. It is a permanent software upgrade. You are no longer running the old, corrupted programming of trying and waiting. You are now operating on the clean, coherent, and infinitely powerful future self-operating system. And like any new system, it comes with an operating manual. These are not more tasks to add to your spiritual to-do list. These are not techniques of effort. They are protocols of being. They are the practical moment-to-moment applications of the certainty you now hold in your cells. Listen closely. This is how you live from the future, now. The first tool is the most fundamental. It will become your new navigation system. We call it the Future Self-Filter. This tool replaces the confused, anxious, pro and con list-making of the logical mind. Its function is to make every choice, from the monumental to the mundane, an act of deeper alignment. It operates on the simple, yet elegant principle of quantum resonance. Your future self exists as a vibrational reality. Every choice you make either resonates with that frequency, strengthening your bridge, or it creates dissonance, weakening it. The Future Self-Filter allows you to feel the difference instantly. Here is how you use it. When faced with any choice, a career path, a conversation to have, what to eat for lunch, it matters not the scale. You will first pause. Close your eyes for just 3 seconds. Take one deep breath and place your hand on your heart. reconnecting instantly to that core feeling, that energetic signature you received on the bridge, that feeling of peace, of wholeness, of success, of love. That is your true north. Now, present the first option to your inner self. For example, I accept the secure corporate job, and then you do nothing but feel. Does the core feeling in your chest expand, brighten, and become more solid? Does it feel like a deep, warm hum of recognition, or does it slightly shrink, dim, or feel tight? Is there a subtle clenching, a feeling of less than? There is no judgment here, only data. Then you present the second option. I dedicate the next 6 months to my soul's creative project. And again, you feel. Does the energy in your core bloom? Does it feel like your entire being says yes, with a quiet, powerful certainty, even if your mind is screaming in terror? That feeling of expansion, of rightness, of home, that is the signal from your future self. It is the resonance of your new timeline. Let's apply this. In your career, you're choosing between the job that offers security and the path that offers fulfillment. The logical mind will argue for security every time, using fear as its primary weapon. But when you apply the filter, you might feel that the secure job creates a subtle deadening in your solar plexus, a dimming of your light. The risky path, however, makes your heart resonate with a quiet, powerful hum. That hum is the echo of your future self, who is already living the success of that choice. In relationships, you might be deciding whether to stay with a partner who is comfortable but limits your growth. Your mind will list all the reasons to stay, the history, the fear of being alone, but the filter reveals the truth. The thought of staying creates a feeling of constriction, of being caged. The thought of stepping into the unknown, while terrifying to the ego, creates a profound sense of expansion and relief in your core. That is the feeling of your future self, who is already thriving in a relationship that matches their ascended frequency or is powerfully whole in their sovereignty. The most common mistake when using this tool is confusing the loud shout of emotional excitement with the quiet hum of deep resonance. Egoic desire often feels like a frantic, anxious, sugar rush of excitement. It's loud, demanding, and often based in lack. True resonance, the signal from your future self, is almost always calm. It is a peaceful, solid, unwavering certainty. It feels like coming home. It feels like remembering a truth you've always known. Learn to distinguish the fireworks of the ego from the deep, steady glow of your soul. The future self filter is your lifelong tool for making choices not from your past conditioning, but from your future reality. The second tool is your morning practice. It takes 5 minutes and it will fundamentally restructure your perception of time and creation. We call it retrocausal anchoring. The old model of manifestation involved visualizing a future you wanted, trying to generate the feeling of it, and then hoping to pull it toward you. It was an act of striving. Retrocausal anchoring flips this entirely. It is not an act of creation, it is an act of memory. It is built on the proven quantum principle of retrocausality, the fact that future events can influence the past. Your future self, living in their completed reality, is constantly sending signals backward through time. This practice is how you consciously tune in and receive that signal. Each morning, before you do anything else, you will sit for 5 minutes. You will not visualize your goals. You will not list your desires. You will do something far more potent. You will connect to your future self, and you will ask them to give you the memory of a success that is already complete for them. Perhaps it's the feeling of financial sovereignty. You won't visualize the money in the bank. You will feel the memory of the profound peace, freedom, and security that your future self lives with every day. It feels like a settled fact, not a hopeful wish. You will let that feeling, that memory, wash over you. Perhaps your goal is vibrant health. You won't visualize yourself running a marathon. You will feel the memory of waking up with effortless energy, the cellular joy of a body in perfect balance. It is a memory your future self is sending you. For 5 minutes, you will marinate in this feeling of a past accomplishment, a done deal. By doing this, you are sending the most powerful signal possible into the quantum field. You are telling reality, this is not something I want. This is something I am. This is not a future I hope for. It is a past I am remembering. This retrocausal signal travels backward from your future, collapsing probability waves and organizing the people. opportunities, and synchronicities in your present moment to align with that foregone conclusion. It is the ultimate reversal of cause and effect. You are no longer trying to cause an effect. You are aligning with an effect that has already been caused in your future. The common mistake here is trying to force the feeling or getting caught up in the details of how it happened. This is the ego trying to reclaim control. The power of retrocausal anchoring is in its surrender. You don't need to know how. Your future self already does. Your only job is to become a receptive vessel for the feeling of the memory. It should feel gentle, peaceful, and relieving. If you are straining or forcing it, you are in the old paradigm. Relax. Let the memory come to you. You are remembering your own victory. The third and final tool is your master key for dissolving all remaining resistance. It is what you will use when the ghosts of the old timeline appear, the self-doubt, the fear, the limiting beliefs, the challenging people or situations. We call it the neutrality protocol. This tool is a direct application of the observer effect in quantum physics, which states that the act of observation changes that which is being observed. The old paradigm taught you to fight your demons, to process your trauma, to affirm over your negative thoughts. This gave them immense power, because what you resist persists. What you fight, you energize. The neutrality protocol does the opposite. It starves the old reality of the one thing it needs to survive, your emotional energy. When a pattern from your old timeline emerges, a wave of anxiety, a critical inner voice, an external situation that triggers you, your new protocol is this. First, you notice it. You see it clearly. Second, you label it for what it is. An echo, a ghost, a powerless residue of a timeline that is now defunct. You might say internally, I see you. Echo of unworthiness. You are a memory from an old operating system. Third, and this is the crucial step, you apply a field of radical neutrality. You do not engage with it. You do not argue with it. You do not try to fix it or heal it. And most importantly, you do not judge yourself for experiencing it. You simply observe it with the detached curiosity of a scientist, observing a phenomenon in a petri dish. You give it zero emotional fuel. No anger, no fear, no frustration. Just neutral, non-judgmental awareness. What happens when you do this is profound. An energetic pattern that is not fed with emotional charge cannot sustain its form. It is like a phantom that requires your belief in it to appear solid. By observing it with pure neutrality, you are declaring its unreality. You are witnessing it without energizing it, and it will, with surprising speed, dissolve. It will lose its grip on your nervous system and fade back into the nothingness from which it came. This is the master tool. It is how you stop fighting a war that is already over. The old timeline is dead. You are simply sweeping up the last of the dust. The most common mistake with the neutrality protocol is faking it, pretending to be neutral while internally you are seething with judgment or fear. This is just repression, and it doesn't work. True neutrality is a state of compassionate detachment. It's a loving recognition that this echo is not you, and it has no power over you. It is not about being cold or unfeeling. It is about being anchored so completely in the truth of your new reality that the illusions of the old one simply have no place to land. So, here is your new operating system, the future self-filter for your choices, retrocausal anchoring for your direction, the neutrality protocol for your purification. This is not more work. Can you feel the relief in this? This is a system defined by ease, flow, and resonance, not by struggle, force, and effort. It is the operating system of a creator who knows the end result is already guaranteed. It is time to fully embody this new way of being. Which of these new reality tools will you commit to for the next 7 days? The filter, the anchoring, or the protocol? The moment you choose, you send a signal forward and backward in time. Anchoring this new reality, declare it. The universe is listening. You did it. Take a breath and feel the truth of that statement. The signal was received. The transmission was accepted. The bridge was walked. You have the operating system, the tools, the direct, cellular knowing that separates the seeker from the master. You are no longer waiting for the shift. You are the shift. Feel the profound integrity of this new identity. It is not an affirmation you are repeating. It is a resonant fact you are embodying. The person who clicked on this video an hour ago existed in a state of hopeful anxiety, scanning the horizon for a sign. You are no longer that person. You are the sign. Your very presence, now coherent with your highest timeline, is a living, breathing confirmation that the future has arrived. Let this sink into every cell. This is not a temporary state. This is not a fleeting high. This is your new energetic home, the baseline from which you will now operate. You have graduated from the curriculum of waiting. Your mastery is acknowledged. Your sovereignty is restored. And yet, this profound personal victory was never the final destination. Building your personal bridge was the most important step you could ever take. But it was step one. This was never just about your personal evolution. You thought this was about aligning your life, finding your peace, manifesting your desires. It was, but it was never only about that. What happens when a tuning fork begins to vibrate at its perfect pitch? It causes other tuning forks nearby to resonate with it. What happens when a light is switched on in a dark room? It doesn't just illuminate itself, it provides a reference point for everything around it. Your future self-alignment bridge is not an isolated structure. It is a node. It is a lighthouse. Now that it is activated and stable, it has begun to emit a coherent frequency, a signal of wholeness and completion. And that signal is being heard. Imagine your bridge, a radiant pathway of light, connecting your present self to your future self. Now imagine another, just over the horizon of your awareness, lighting up, and another, all across the planet. Individuals who received their own quantum voicemail are activating their own bridges. These are not separate events. They are part of a coordinated, planetary-level activation. Your personal bridge is becoming a single, crucial component in a global network of light, a coherent consciousness grid. The purpose was never just to save yourself. It was to become a stable anchor point for a new planetary reality. The principle that allows your future self to communicate with you across time is the very same principle that connects your energy to everyone and everything else, instantly and beyond the limitations of space. It's a phenomenon so counterintuitive, so strange, that Albert Einstein himself called it spooky action at a distance. The formal name for it is quantum entanglement. The concept is simple, yet its implications will shatter your understanding of reality. When two quantum particles become entangled, they form an unbreakable bond. They are forever linked as a single system. If you measure a property of one particle here, you instantly know the property of its partner. Even if that partner is on the other side of the galaxy, there is no travel time. The information is transmitted instantly. It breaks the classical speed limit of the universe, the speed of light, because nothing is traveling. The connection is already there. It is non-local. Now ask yourself a revolutionary question. What if consciousness is entangled? What if your soul is entangled with the souls of your family, your ancestors, your future children? What if your alignment isn't just a personal event? What if the moment you walked that bridge and merged with your future self, you sent an instantaneous upgrade signal to every soul you are entangled with? This is the key that moves us from personal evolution to planetary transformation. This is how we begin to consciously collaborate in the creation of a new timeline for all of humanity. Subscribe and activate all notifications. You've built your personal bridge. Next, we explore how these bridges connect to form a planetary network. The next video is Quantum Entanglement Explained, and it's the next chapter of your mission. You don't want to miss it. In our next deep dive, titled Quantum Entanglement Explained, Why Your Healing Instantly Heals Your Ancestors and Your Future, we will unpack the science and the spirituality of this profound connection. We will explore how your personal shift is not a solitary act, but a non-local miracle that echoes backward and forward through your lineage, clearing trauma you never even knew you were carrying. And after that, we go even deeper. We will explore the mechanism behind those divine appointments and meaningful coincidences you experience. The next chapter is called Synchronicity is Simpler Than You Think. It's pure physics. You will learn to stop hoping for synchronicity and start engineering it as a function of your own coherence, turning your life into a seamless flow of resonant encounters and effortless manifestations. This is the path forward. Remember where you were just 1 hour ago. Remember the spiritual fatigue, the exhaustion of the almost but not quite. Remember the ache of feeling perpetually on the verge of a breakthrough that never seemed to fully arrive. Remember the quiet fear that maybe you were doing it all wrong. Breathe that memory in, and now breathe it out for the last time. It is a ghost, an echo from a timeline that is no longer yours. You are a bridge, not just for yourself but for the world. You are a conduit for a future that is no longer coming, but is now present. Live from this truth. Make your choices from this truth. Your alignment is a gift to all of us. You are an anchor of coherence in a world that desperately needs it. The work is done. The being has begun.